Okay, everybody, Dr. Joe, Washington, D.C. I know a lot of people have been asking, what's it like, Dr. Joe, to be on the JV program and to be a student as you go through a project? Well, one of my students, Greg, has completed a project in Washington, D.C. He renovated the house. He turned it into a 5-bedroom. It was a 3-bedroom originally. He turned it into a 5-bedroom, did the renovations, and ultimately he decided to keep the house and rent it to a Section 8 voucher holder. So he navigated through the entire Section 8 process, did the paperwork, did the selection of the tenant, screening the tenant, and finally processed the inspections, and it was all done. Tenants moved in, tenants paying the rent, everything's turned out fantastic. So again, probably the best thing to do is hear it from Greg. So Greg, take it away.
Greg and Krissy Karbett are part-time real estate investors now in the DC Section 8 market, thanks to Dr. Joe. We're also full-time parents of adult children and also have full-time jobs. So we met Dr. Joe after we first saw him on the Bigger Pockets podcast, number 356 in November 2019. We reached out to him and his team afterwards to become part of the JV program. So we reached out to Dr. Joe and his team to discuss being part of his JV program. And after a few discussions, we decided to join, and we ended up joining with his December 2019 JV program.
So part of Dr. Joe's program, we were able to meet with a local realtor and go with our class and tour a few properties. So one of the properties we toured happened to be half of a duplex that we ended up purchasing.
So that was about July. It took us a little while to find a rehab team, and then with the rehab team, we worked on it for about 4 months. It's a little bit daunting at first. There's a lot of paperwork as new landlords. There's paperwork, of course, the lease-up packet for the house. You know, Dr. Joe's training was very helpful. His coaching was very helpful. But overall, it was really good. I mean, once we got through it, I'm not really nervous about doing it the second time. Once you get to know, I think, some of the people in DC housing, it becomes easier. So voucher holders, I believe that Dr. Joe's spot on. So they're like everyone else. You know, they want a safe place for their families, a safe place for their kids, and a good home to live in. And I do mean home. So the tenant we had move in, you know, she's been taking very nice care of the house. She's treating it like her home. I do not have any concerns that she's going to tear the place up or any of the stuff that is the usual stigma. Dr. Joe made a huge difference with our efforts at starting real estate again. Just being in DC. DC is a very challenging market. It's a very rewarding market if you can get a grip on it. And then also too, Section 8, especially in a year where all this was happening during COVID. I mean, we found the house in the middle of COVID. We're trying to get a mortgage in the middle of COVID. It was all very challenging. And while we're trying to get this house, we're hearing stories that people aren't, market renters aren't paying their rent, which that would have been a terrible thing for us starting over again in real estate. So get a mentor. Don't do this alone. And if you don't have a mentor directly, which I think is a mistake, at least be part of a local REO. Dr. Joe has been fantastic with what he's provided in the way of the JV program, contacts he has, with advice, with syncing you up with other investors that are trying to do the same things. Leveraging his experience has been a huge help to us. Without Dr. Joe and the program he's got, we wouldn't be in the DC market and we wouldn't be Section 8.
And take the opportunity to learn from other people's mistakes and learn from their wins.
Okay, everybody, now that you've heard from Greg, fantastic. So hopefully I'll see you on the program.